This was filmed during the COVID-19 pandemic. My guest is part of my inner circle for contact tracing. I was at an extremely low risk for contracting the virus. Please wear a mask in public or around others who are not part of your inner circle.
Hey everyone, it's Adaptive Goddess, and today I'm going to be talking about distress tolerance boxes. So a distress tolerance box is something like this, where you put all of your distress tolerance tools so that you have easy access to them when you start to experience intense, overwhelming emotional pain. So this one is mine that I made when I was about, I think I was maybe 17 or 18. So I'm going to show you what's inside. So it has a variety of different tools in it that range from accepts and improve and the self-soothe. I don't have a lot of tip because I'm not a tip person, but I'll show how to make one so that you can put all of your tools in them. This one's just mine. If you need a refresher on what accepts or improve or self-soothe or tip is, check out the card. Those are my earlier videos where I go into depth and explain each one in detail. So first off, I have things that are kind of like for vision for the self-soothe. This is a necklace that broke, but it was a gift from a friend who I really admired and liked. And so I like to look back on those really fond memories and kind of just remember a time I was like happy and was able to kind of just go with the flow. Up next, I have some more vision. So I love Little Bear. It's a cute, quick read that just makes me feel really happy and calm. I have postcards from my various travels. I have one of my favorite quotes that my mom would sometimes say, so it makes me feel happy. I also have like other little books that are just funny, give me happy thoughts. This book is kind of more for like activity. It's a spot the difference kind of book, and I do it to kind of just make my mind go somewhere else. So it's kind of a mix between thought and activity from accepts. And then I have a How Am I Doing, which is just, for me, it's a guide of which skill do I need in that moment. So like 10 is I'm feeling super bad. I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. Like I can't talk. No one's going to know what I'm feeling. And 1 is just I'm feeling good and I kind of want to stay there. So for other things like activities or for other sensations, I have journal. I do like journaling. This one's just a clean one that just reminds me to journal. It also has a lot of really cute quotes in it, so I really don't want to like mess it up. But I have other journals. I also have things that are like pictures, a lot of really fun cards from when I used to work at a school. All the kids would send me really nice cards, more things. And then I have more visuals, and this one was kind of a coloring thing. So it was Harry Potter coloring, and that was really calming. I have just a lot of visuals. I'm a very visual person, so kind of seeing a visual helps me bring back really happy memories. Here's like an actual journal I would write in. Just things that kind of just help me process what I'm doing. There are other sensations, so little wiki sticks that you can bend, and then you like either color over a piece of paper, or you can put like tinfoil on them and then put a marker on them. These are really fun. I have a ton, let me see if I can find them all. You know you're a 90s kid when you still have a Walkman and tapes. I think I got one more in here somewhere. Here it is. So I have a Walkman or a tape player, some really nice headphones that I really like, and then I have a ton of tapes. So this ranged from just like a book on tape, which is Little Bear. I love Little Bear. things of like me and my grandma, more things with me and my grandma, and then I have some Hitchcock radio theater of two of like some of my favorite stories of his. So whenever I'm like super stressed out, I like to put them on, go into my room and listen to them. These help block out any other sounds so that I'm only focusing on the stories or the music that I'm listening to. So when I was 18 and creating this box, I only had one fidget toy. This was before I really knew a lot about fidget toys. I love fidget toys now, but this is like a little popper. Oh, didn't work. And so you would bend it over and then it would pop up. It's super fun. I could play with it all day. I have a necklace in here that was really cool to like kind of touch and feel because it's hollow. It has, it's metal, so it just has a different feel to it, and it's really nice, and it's a heart. So I have a mirror that kind of, again, is for vision, but it also has some like little rhinestones in it, so it kind of has a different feel, so I can kind of like look at myself and see myself smile. Then I feel, better. I also have a ton of cream. I love the different senses of cream. I love smelling them. I love just wearing them. These creams are definitely give me warm and fuzzy feelings, especially milk and honey. I'm a huge honey person. And then I have like a little like ball that I can like bounce around or toss in my hand. I like doing this more than like throwing it because I don't want to break anything. And then this just has really fun little things about me that we had made. And it's like, I'm creative, I'm passionate, I look for the good. So things like that to kind of help me feel better about not only myself, but like, I do see the good in things. So what is the silver lining in the situation I'm in right now? For other things of thought, I have Sudoku. I love Sudoku. I have little other fidget things. I've got like a pin that I really like. I don't poke myself with it, but the outside of it is super nice. It's like bumpy, but also really smooth. And then I have a little purse full of just like a ring to like kind of roll around my finger. A little like flower stone, and some other cute little like stones that like I can put in my hand and they sound cool or they feel really nice. I do have some like rocks in here, not like picked up from the beach kind of rocks, but like bought at a store, but I don't know where those went. But I have just like cute little messages. I have a little bit more of like some journaling just to kind of just write things down, what's going on with my life, and kind of helping myself process the emotional pain I'm in. So that is my distress tolerance box, and I'm going to construct one with you guys to kind of help you create your own. So I'm here with my mom, and I'm going to kind of walk through how to build a distress tolerance box.
This will be new for me. I never had a distress tolerance box, but I see all the fun things Natasha has and always felt like, ooh, this would be a cool thing for me. So maybe she'll build one for me, or maybe this one will end up that way. We'll see. That's a surprise to her, but we'll see.
So your distress tolerance box size, I've got a few different in here, will all depend on your needs. So like, for example, if you need a small one that fits about the size of your purse, you can have in it things like a pencil, a prayer paper, matches, a candle, and like a small version of the thinking putty. That fits into one of these, and you can just kind of put it in your purse, put it in a pocket, just kind of carry it around with you. If you're a person who doesn't need a lot, so this would be kind of like prayer, meditation,
I'm
things
just
like
checking
sensory.
out what the thinking putty is because that's kind of neat. And I'm just like, oh, Oh, it's a small version of the thinking. And ooh, it's very cool. And it's really ruby red, slipper red. Very cool. This comes in the purse size, which is kind of neat.
It's just the smaller version of the Aaron's Thinking Putty. You can get these pretty much anywhere you get the bigger kind. And they're just, like, here's a comparison. They're just smaller.
And actually, this kind of fits in the back of your pocket. Just don't sit on it. But that's kind of neat that this, I mean, when I first was watching you, I thought, oh my gosh, this gigantic thing. Who's going to deal with that? But you have a lot of things that you want to put in there, but I may not. And it's neat to see that it can even be as small as just this little box and
yes, it all
have
depends.
some real meaningful things in it.
And it all really depends on what you yourself need. Using things like the accepts or improve or tip or self-soothe. So it's really all about you and what you need to tolerate distress. So if someone needs some thinking putty and just does prayer instead of any other kind of sensory thing, then totally just stick that in here. You close the lid and voila, you're done. So this is the one that I needed for myself, but I have a variety of different sizes. You like this one?
I do like that one. But
do you like the writing on it?
I do. Orange is my color.
Orange is definitely
orange.
Orange is definitely one of my colors too.
It's kind of a happy. It feels like happy sunshine.
Yes.
Remember when I sent you that sunshine box to college?
Yes.
I wish I had found that kind of box because
it makes more sense.
Neat. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll use this one. All right. So I have, as you see, a variety of things, and I will go through kind of each of them. That way you can kind of see what you want in it. So let me take the lid off. So over here, I have things like bubbles for breathing. I've got Rubik's Cubes because I like the Rubik's Cube.
That frustrates me.
Yeah. But I mean, I kind of like just spinning it around and kind of, so like,
I guess
doing
it
something
would
with your hands.
Take your mind off of your troubles, and you could create a whole bunch of new trouble thoughts.
Yep. I have things like the therapy gel. So if you are going to use something like temperature for tip, I would recommend putting one that is frozen, or put one in the freezer so it's frozen, and one in your box that's unfrozen. That way you can be like, I've got one in the freezer for me.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Instead
of one in here to remind you that you have one in the freezer.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Because these take forever to freeze, and the trick with tip is that you do it almost immediately to get that shock to the system. Okay. So that you don't put it in there and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then you're like, oh, I don't need it anymore.
And what was tip again?
Tip was the temperature, intense exercise, paced breathing, and progressive muscle relaxation. Just kind of like really
shock to the system.
It's a real shock to the system.
Okay.
I've got things like the stress ball with the water beads, because these ones are my favorite.
Yeah, it feels good.
So you need that?
I do.
Okay.
That's
going in.
That one.
So I've got things like Scrabble. So I like to pray using things like Scrabble and put like words together that kind of help me feel better.
Oh, what a neat idea.
Yeah. Whether it's I need to write out the emotion I want to feel, or just a thought that I'm having, or something that I think needs prayer for. So this is kind of how I pray. And so I have just like a little bit of Scrabble letters. Do you think you need it?
Sure, that's kind of fun.
All right.
Something new to try. And I like the bubbles.
You like the bubbles? Okay. So I've got things for kind of visually. So we can go through some of them. I have a journal, but it's a wreck this journal because I get frustrated and I wreck things because that's what I do. And so it says, find a way to wear the journal.
Oh, fun.
Create a nonstop line. Space for negative comments. What is your inner critic saying?
I love that.
Journal golf. Tear this page out, crumple it into a ball, place the journal into a triangle, and then you try and get the ball through the triangle.
So it's kind of like a journal, but it's also an activity thing.
Yes.
I love it. Did you get that for me?
Yes.
Thank you. I love it. It's Christmas came early. That's so cool.
And then I have what it's called a little book of moods. So it goes through like 100 different ways you could be feeling, and then it gives you yourself some tips on how to get out of it.
Disadvantaged.
Yeah. Or argumentative.
I feel that one a lot.
Or you're bored.
No.
Or you're just vain.
Oh.
So just ways you're feeling like threatened. And then you kind of just go and you can like identify, because for me, what was the trouble in these very negative emotional situations was that I could not identify what I was feeling. And DBT does have a section, a module on emotional regulation. But for me, it was always helpful to be like, even when I'm done dealing with distress, it gave me a tool to kind of talk about what I was feeling.
Right. And I bet for like in the accepts, you can use this to see what the opposite would be.
Yes.
So kind of a comparison and say, well, guilty, okay, but maybe actually I feel real fulfilled. And oh, look, lazy. I wonder if I feel guilty when I'm lazy, and what's that all about? So that's kind of cool.
Yes. Do you think you need it? Please. Okay. So this is a book. It's a picture book I found online. I'm a huge Kristen Bell fan, and she wrote a book.
Oh, neat.
And I really, really love this book.
Huge Kristen Bell fan.
Love it. Huge. Like, oh my God. I'm not even joking when I say huge. So it says the world needs more purple people.
Huh.
And it's about this girl who kind of goes on, I got it signed. So it kind of is about this kid, I think it's a girl, goes on this journey to kind of talk about like, what is a purple person? And so then they go through like all the different kinds of things. And so it kind of makes you feel better about like being different or having a negative situation. And it helps you find like meaning in what you're doing. And it can help kind of create comparison so that you feel a little bit better about yourself, or you feel a little bit more like you have an idea of what you can grow out of the negative situation.
So I would love to have this in my box.
Yes.
It's not something that I would draw from for knowing what I would need it for. Is it okay to put things in the box that are brand new, that I'm not associating to anything but may use to explore?
So there's a yes and a no to that. When you are going to put something new into your box, whether it's like a book or it's like a different kind of sensory toy, you really want to make sure that you are using that tool when you are lower on your distress tolerance. So where you are more able to deal with the distress than if you are like at 100 and you are in the red zone, you are having a tantrum, you are having a panic attack, you are having a meltdown. So this would be something that you're like, someone said a really mean comment to me. Ow, that kind of hurts. Like, I need something to feel better about myself. So that's when you would explore newer ones. When you are up there in your distress tolerance that you need, like, the immediate either shock to the system or you need to go to your known skills, that would not be the time to be kind of exploring new ones. You want to explore them when you're calmer and see how that makes you feel. Does it make you go higher in energy? Does it lower your energy? Does it actually keep your energy the same? So your distress tolerance box does not need to be, I am 100% ready to rip someone's head off kind of box. It can be, I am in need of something. Let me see what I can get.
Okay. So this would be okay to put in.
Okay. So I'll put it in here. Does it fit?
Does it fit? Of course it fits. Yes, of course it fits. It fits. We'll make it fit. So you put some things underneath it and then it will fit diagonally.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna make it fit.
It'll have to fit.
Yes, for sure. We'll stick other things in there with it. And
so
fit. Like maybe this.
Yes.
We'll put a soft blanket in there.
So you found the other thing. So this is a self-soothe one, or it can even be like a vacation where you like throw it over your head and be like, no one else can get me. But yeah, it's a blanket. It's just a really soft blanket. You like it?
Yeah.
So that's this. Do you want it in your?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me see if I can get
That
it in
will
here.
probably fit right underneath there.
This is why I had big ones. I need a lot of skills, not because like
This is good.
and I have a huge box, not because like I need all the skills. I like all the skills. And so it's kind of nice to be like, I'm going to use this one today, or I'm going to use that one today. And also feel free to say no to any of these.
But you know what else? The reason I like this as compared to the other big clear one is that I feel like this is something that I'd like to sit out on my shelf and maybe not have everybody know what it is, but then it can sit out right where I want it and I can see it and be reminded that there's always something there that I can grab. Whereas I don't know if I'd like looking at a clear box in my bookshelf.
Yeah.
But this would be so cool because it already shows be happy and use your imagination and show appreciation. So I feel like that's kind of more my speed.
And like for me, mine just sits under my bed. I have a lot of storage under my bed, so it just kind of slides in there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tucked out of the way.
I think I would forget it.
Well, that's the thing. Like I need to tolerate distress in my room by myself.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I need it versus like someone who is like newer to it. Yeah, having it out is a good idea. And when I first did make my box, I did have it out. And that was kind of something that it was in my room. That was then a visual of I need to use it. And I know you guys gave me like some prompts of like this is the time you need to use your box.
Yeah.
So it's something that's under my bed. Saw you reach for this.
Yeah.
I know you like this.
Yes, I love that.
This is a knee dough ball. It's just a very, very nice stress ball that just is super fun. I like it.
It's kind of big.
It is. You can get other ones. I just like the big one because it like fits in my hand. The littler ones that kind of just fit in your palm.
So is it okay if I say no because it's too big for my box, or should I make my box bigger, or should I try and fit what I want within my box because I want it to sit pretty on my shelf?
Well, this isn't so much about sitting pretty, though. Yes, you would want it out because I would recommend if you find yourself gearing towards a lot of things, going for a bigger box with the same kind of style.
Okay. All right.
I think I have one around here somewhere that if you want that one instead.
So I should include it and just find a bigger box.
If you find, like I know you like this one, I would say go with this one.
Or maybe a smaller one. Should I take the time to find a smaller one? Maybe?
I mean, yeah. If you're like, if this box is what fits my space and I need this box, then I would start tailoring some of the things to fit it. So you don't need a big one. I would get like a smaller version of it.
Or like this thinking putty and just use the smaller one that you showed earlier. Or maybe not this big one, but a smaller putty that does the same. This kind of is all the same kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Squishing something, and one is a little bit more wet and one is a little bit more. And this one is the kinetic sand. Yeah,
which I like because it's a little bit of a different feeling.
Like here's one. Here's putty. Yeah. Although I like the sparkly ones better.
Yeah.
Than the regular Play-Doh putty.
Yeah.
And it smells like Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm. I like this because you can kind of put it through your fingers.
Yeah, I like kinetic sand too.
So it just kind of goes through your fingers.
Yeah.
And just kind of falls down. So it's a different sensation than squeezing something.
Yeah. But then you also have kind of this that's kind of the same feel. Mm-hmm. It's just a different size. So I may
even
like this one.
Well, what's nice about these little ropes is that you can kind of pull on them without really breaking them. So you can just be like, ugh.
Oh, neat.
And I do that with these all the time. I smack them around. And it
kind of slaps, so it does have a little bit of that tip that maybe kind of wake you up.
Yeah.
Kind of feel. Oh, neat. So I'm
you want that one instead? All right. So I have things also with tip. I have these really nice, really cool yoga poses. that are like difficulty levels. So like this one is plank. There's one here that's like a tree pose.
So the plank would be more of that intense. Right?
Yeah.
Because the calm, I don't think would really be.
No, unless you go like super fast through them.
Yeah, I can see that. But
like cat pose, I can see you going like forward and arch back and then forward
but
and arch
is that
back.
Intense?
The cat pose knows, but you can make it intense.
I see. Okay.
By going back and forth really fast.
Yeah, true.
So do you want yoga poses?
Yes, for
okay.
sure.
So then in here I have a larger prayer paper set.
Okay. I think I'm good with that one, especially if I use the smaller. See, I'm thinking maybe I'll use the smaller one for my purse with that in it, more discreet, and then this one for the bigger stuff.
So then I have some other things over here. I have this gigantic candle because I love candles, and it's Calming Waves.
I love that one.
But I also, like, if something like this big, you can totally get, like, a mini version. I know these candles come in smaller versions of all of their scents.
Yes, they do. They're at my house also.
I just love this one.
Yes.
I may just leave it out.
Yes. So you can put that on the side, but I would put a candle in there.
But what's also nice about candles themselves is, like, you can put a picture of a candle or a smaller candle in here, and then just know that it's a big candle, because candles, everyone has candles in their house.
But is that kind of dangerous for when you're in distress, having the candle in there?
Well,
burning a candle?
If the scent is relaxing to you, no, not really, because it will calm you and put you into a different peace of mind. Because you're using a different scent that actually triggers something else in your brain. So your brain then focuses on this and not on everything else.
Okay. Because I just saw the roll-on smelly scented oil that's kind of does the same thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, this one smells so good. Gardenia,
so you want that one in there?
So, but it does kind of the same thing.
Yes.
But with the candle, I can see how you're also visually focusing on it and kind of thinking about something else.
Yes.
But yeah, I want that in
Okay. That's going in.
Mm.
So this is my favorite sensory toy. The ladder. If you want to see a video on the ladder, up in over there will be a card to the fidget toy where I talk about fidgeting and I show the Jacob's ladder.
There's also this cord, which also it must be like puzzle pieces or something. It's snapping a little bit in my hand, and it's a little bit stiffer, but it also makes a little bit of that sound. Very
so this is one thing I like to do with it. Because we used to have these at the inpatient place. All the kids would play with it and then proceed to break it. You actually snap it together, and so then it's a loop, and then you can kind of just wrestle it in your hand.
I love it's kind of like, it has for me that same sensation as popping the packing paper.
Yeah.
It has a lot of the same stuff going on. It's like a little bit crinkly, and it has that sound.
Yeah. The bicycles. My other favorite toy. And then to take it out, it's actually pretty simple. I can get it out. Kind of slide it out. Yeah, you just slide them out and then it opens back up.
I want that one in there.
Okay.
And then I think this one actually, if I didn't have the candle in the smaller version, I may put this in there. Because on the go, I don't know if I'd have a place, I guess maybe a place on the go for the candle. I'm not so sure, but I would maybe add this because I remember talking during the fidgeting part, when you were talking about fidgeting, that this is kind of very discreet. Nobody actually can see you doing this, but then there's something there that keeps your hands busy. While we're shooting this video, I'm feeling like to keep my hands busy might be fun.
Yeah. So yes. Or put this one off to the side.
With the silver little box. Okay. My purse or
your purse
back
box.
Pocket box.
Okay.
For sure.
So in your purse box, you have that
the fidgeting.
Yes.
And the little pencil with the writing, scribbling prayer.
Okay.
And I might also put a stick of gum in there.
Okay.
I saw that you have this gum, which is for me one of my favorite things. it kind of gives me TMJ, but it
I love
does
this.
help. And the rescue pellets
Yeah.
are also really fun, but I like them showing on something.
I like these.
I'm putting these in here. You can keep your Resco pastils.
Yes. So I've got some, I think they're called mandalas.
Yeah, those are fun.
These are fun to draw. These come in like a ton of adult coloring books for relaxation.
Yeah.
So you can always go out and buy one of those. I found them at the dollar store a few times.
I would want that in there, but then that tells me I would need some coloring pencils.
Yep, and then you go get some good coloring pencils.
Coloring pencils.
So I know you're not me, but I just got my hands on a Scooby-Doo comic book.
Oh, fun.
That would totally, it's going to end up in my distress tolerance box.
Okay, so if it was mine, so this one is hers, and I totally love the comic book idea only because I remember being younger reading comic books, and they're just kind of like you don't have to be, it does a lot of things, visual, and for me, when I was younger, what I read was Asterix and Obelix. So
I think I
would
one.
love, but they came huge, but this is an awesome size for that. And it just kind of would bring me back to my childhood, and which was very fun for me.
So you want one of those in there?
Yeah, but not that one.
I don't know if it's gonna fit.
Asterix and Obelix would be fun to do.
So I also have some CDs. This one is a more of a guided meditation and guided CD, whereas this one is just music. You can put both in there. It just is a matter of which one you need. I need both, so I have like a variety of like 100 different ones. There's a lot. I have to look at all of them.
How for your tape, you had the tape player in there. For this, like, I would worry that I don't have a CD player, so I would want to make sure that I'm putting a CD player in there too, like an old Walkman or whatever.
Yeah.
So
or that you have one available.
Right, and I would need to make sure that that one works. So. So that would be something to consider before I put it in there. Yeah, I love those. Or they would be a reminder, right?
Yes.
To go get it on your phone. Would that be okay?
That's totally cool too. If you have like on your phone, I know I do. I have a like ambient sound playlist, or even on my Alexa. Alexa has a lot of skills that are.
Don't say it too loud because she'll come on. What do you need?
That have the ambient sound skills. I have like all of them. This would be just a great reminder to be like, oh, and you can even like write on it like, Alexa, play so and so.
Right. That's good. Sometimes I forget that.
Yes. All right. So then I also
we're getting to the bottom of the pile.
We are. So then I have things like positive affirmations, like I am compassionate and things like that. These are handwritten.
Some of them I can't write or I can't think about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a good big sister, but you are. I know you are. I'm a little sister.
But like there's some that you can just write for yourself, whether it's through a guided affirmation session on the CD or you just look them up online. Write them out yourself. Don't just print out a copy of some positive affirmations. Like, write them out. That helps your brain to not only remember them, but believe them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And positive affirmations are all about believing them.
And I think I should throw this in there because I've been standing here fidgeting with it. And obviously I need it. But maybe it needs to go in my little silver box because that one too is something that I could just have in my pocket.
We had these at our inpatient and the staff played with these more than the patients.
Oh, wow.
Than our clients. Like, this was just something that we're just like, oh, this is a rough day. And we're just like playing with their toys.
This one is not that way. This would be obvious that you're dealing with something because it's huge. Yes. I love how huge it is though. And it's fun colors. I could see just having this next to my bed or somewhere more private where I could just be mesmerized. I mean, you can be mesmerized by just looking at the colors. It's crazy. I wonder if this one goes down the stairs.
I think it does. But yeah, no, like I bought this in of itself that I love Slinkies. And I love, you can even like see on the camera what it's doing.
It's so cool.
Yeah. And I love the sound that goes with it.
This is kind of cool too. This little mill, like bubble mill. And
Yeah.
it's making, ooh, this one is a little bit even mesmerizing because it's got those spirals in it. Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So
I would like that. If
this is actually a different way to do like an hourglass.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a bubble hourglass. And so it has the bubbles, and this is how you like tell time. This isn't actually like an hour. I think this may be like a minute or so, but then it helps you kind of watch the bubbles for a minute, and then you do it again because it's so mesmerizing, and before you know it, an hour has gone by.
Yeah.
So
Very
this
calming.
is always something really good.
Lots
do you want
going
it?
on there. Yes, please.
Okay. So I have.
And I know this is your favorite.
I have the spot the difference.
I bought that for her.
Well, we have a spot the difference war like all the time.
I'm pretty good at it, but every now and then I don't even get to find one. She gets all 5 at once. I think she stays up at night and studies them all so she can beat me the next day.
Maybe. Maybe that happens.
Maybe, yeah.
But I know you like them too. So do you think you need this in your box?
I'm not going to take it from you.
Okay.
You can buy me one.
So lastly, I have the How Am I Doing chart. This should always go on the top of your box.
Uh-huh.
And this is kind of a, well, like, how am I doing? Like, and I mean, you can have it as a thermometer, you can have it as a scale, you can have it go up to 100 if you need to. 5 is pretty much going to be your center point where you are kind of almost halfway not doing well. 1 or 0 should be your fine. 0 should at least be your fine. 1 is you're kind of getting there, and 10 or 100 or whatever number the top of it should be you're going to have a nervous breakdown, you're going to have a tantrum, you are going to have a panic attack, you are going to have a meltdown. You need so much regulation to come back down. So this one's mine.
So, this makes me think, though, that this box isn't just for when you're at a 10 or when you're in crisis. So, because you said you could be at 0 or at 1, so I could come and get this anytime, maybe if I'm feeling bored, or maybe if I'm feeling a little bit melancholy and want to think about my childhood, or just kind of want to check out the Hourglass because it's so fun. And so one last thing is, I think Natasha found her rocks, and they are kind of cool because
cool.
Ooh, they are cool. It's a heart.
I did find my rocks.
Oh my gosh.
They're super fun to kind of just have in your hand. And
One
the
with
best
a
thing
snowman.
is they are in a Wicked bag from the first time I saw Wicked in LA.
No way,
yeah,
really? Oh, this
right
is
here.
so cool.
It says Wicked.
Oh, wow. She's a total Wicked fan.
And then it has like little
and you know, I
charms
also
in them.
felt even just touching it in this bag because they're kind of polished rocks is cool.
Yeah.
The big heart one. So pretty.
Yeah.
So that goes back in your. That
you
goes
don't
in
want
hers.
it? Okay.
I do want it, but it
You
goes
said
in
you
yours.
needed this though.
Yes, but that one is in my silver.
It's in
back
your
pocket.
silver one.
In the back pocket thing.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm ready to go. Thank you.
All right. You're
for
welcome.
doing this.
So,
Yay.
yeah, that is how you build a distress tolerance box.
It helps to have a great guide like Natasha helping you.
So if you need to, you can totally, at any point in time, like pause this video as you're building your own to kind of go back and look at other things and kind of be like, well, is this really anything? So.
And I think, sorry for interrupting.
You're totally fine.
I think it's really helpful to pause it and go back and look at those cards to see how they relate to some of the accepts and tip and what was the other one?
Self-soothe and improve.
Improve, to see how some of these link back into the DBT toolbox skills and how you can help make that powerful tool work for you while you're doing it.
Yes. So leave a comment down below. What did you put in your distress tolerance box? Did you guys find something that maybe wasn't on this table that you really love in your distress tolerance box? What kind of skills are you putting in your distress tolerance box? Are you finding yourself using more tip or more accepts or more improve or more self-soothe? Because I'd totally love to hear from you guys. So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and gently tap that like button. And remember to be kind, compassionate, and true to you.